In this contentious time, one thing I think we can all agree on is that 2016 absolutely sucked. But the small silver lining of the year was that the music was pretty amazing. I'm Sam Chapman with Jetspace magazine, and these are your top local queer releases of 2016.
Told that motherfucker that he need to be realistic. Bring the bread if you wanna get the biscuit, cause if you don't got money, then
First up is Machetes' Cool Tricks 2. Cool Tricks 2 was easily one of the most fun and interesting releases that I heard from any local artist all year. It's ostensibly sort of a trash rap album, but in some ways it's kind of this hyper-intellectual subversion of the typical trash rap genre. It's also a hell of a lot of fun. So Cool Tricks 2 is a release to check out. Next up is Nail Polish with Authentic Living. I've gone on record as saying this local three-piece punk outfit is the coolest band in Seattle, and their debut full-length Authentic Living proves that to be entirely true. It's dense, it's agitated, it's sort of this blunt examination of what it means to be young and confused and alive in the digital age. So definitely check out Authentic Living by Nail Polish. Next up is Pillar Point's Marble Mouth. Seattle's really great at producing a lot of things. Mold, kind of clueless white people, a seasonal affective disorder, but it's not generally known as a place that produces a lot of smart dance pop acts. But Pillar Point proved to be the exception, and their new release, Marble Mouth, is this kind of kaleidoscopic dance album that walks the fine line between festival-friendly anthems and David Byrne avant-pop. So for sure check out Marble Mouth by Pillar Point. Next up is Tacocat with Lost Time. In some ways, this kind of felt like the year of Tacocat. They released an album, they went on tour all over the country and Europe, and Lost Time, their second release on Hardly Art, continues where NVM, the previous release, left off, but it's a little darker and a little moodier. There's still that sort of classic Tacocat upbeat take on feminism, on pop culture, but there's also a sense of growing older and a sense of things getting a little bit more complex than any of their previous releases. Definitely check out Lost Time by Tacocat. Next up is Erik Blood with Lost in Slow Motion. Dreamboat alert! Local producer, sound engineer, musician, Erik Blood is for sure one of Seattle's greatest natural resources. And this year, with his musical partner Irene Barbaric, he released Lost in Slow Motion, a spacious, crystalline sort of album that explores the deterioration of a relationship. If you're a fan of shoegaze, the romanticism of the Cocteau Twins with an added driving immediacy, for sure check out Erik Blood's Lost in Slow Motion.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I don't want to get over you. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I...
Next up is Dyke Drama's Up Against the Bricks. Local hardcore band slash superhero group slash religious icons, Gloss, tragically broke up this year, citing pressure from the mainstream attention that they were receiving. However, lead singer Sadie Switchblade has continued on with what was once her side project, Dyke Drama, and Up Against the Bricks is her release from this year. Fans of Gloss might be a little confused when they first encounter Up Against the Bricks. It's not really a hardcore album. It draws on Americana, some country. It's a bit more of a straightforward rock album. But Sadie Switchblade's incredible songwriting still is the star of the show. That hasn't changed at all since her Gloss days. So for sure, check out Dyke Drama's Up Against the Bricks. Next up is the Julie Ruin with Hit Reset. Technically, I'm completely cheating on this one because none of the members of the Julie Ruin live in the area, but it was put out on Sub Pop's Hardly Art imprint, and Kathleen Hanna spent a lot of time in the area, so whatever. Hit Reset is the second album from the Julie Ruin, and it continues Hannah's career-spanning interest in mixing politics and music. However, there are also moments on this album where I think perhaps Kathleen Hanna might be the most vulnerable that we've ever really seen her. So if you're interested in a vital work from one of the most important women in punk rock history, definitely check out the Julie Ruins hit Reset.
I've been the Black Widow and I have been the Brown Recluse.
Next up is Guayaba with Black Trash White House. A few weeks ago I wrote a full review of this record, so you can check it out on jetspacemagazine.com. And I won't bore you by just sort of repeating what I've already written, except to say that Guayaba is one of the most singular queer artists that I've heard coming out of this area in a really long time. And Black Trash White House is a really amazing piece of work that's pretty wonderfully produced by local producer Luna God. So for sure check it out and keep your eye on Guayaba, because she's gonna do big things. So those were your top local queer releases of 2016. Tune in next week when we'll be going over my top national queer releases of 2016. I'm Sam Chapman for Jetspace Magazine, and thanks for watching.